Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about jewelry. Since we are about to launch the new collection Luce, again in collaboration with Boutique Minimaliste, you know my first collection Antica is almost all sold out. It's unbelievable how good it went. So on the 15th of March, so next Sunday, we are about to launch Luce, which is a new collection that I'm about to show you now, and also we are going to restock a lot of the very good pieces of Antica. So the Luce collection, I can't wait to show you. The Luce collection, it is a lot more sparkly, that's why it's called Luce, it means light in Italian. It's on the same style of Antica because that is our style, so we didn't change our direction. And especially what I love about the two collections is that if you already have bought some Antica pieces, you can mix and match. So it's all pieces that is in the same style, in the same price range, and you can wear them together. So there's still gonna be a lot of vintage pieces, but anyways, without further ado, I've divided the video in 5 jewelry trends, very actual at the moment for 2020, and this is the way I'm gonna show you all the jewelry. Trend number 1, which is a trend at the moment, but it's something like super classical, it is hoops. I think my very first pair of earrings when I got my ear pierced and I was a child, it was hoops, so it is a classic, but it's very trendy at the moment, especially if you have different ear piercings. I have 4 to wear like all hoops and it looks amazing. Especially I would say you can style them in the summer with just a very simple outfit like a white or a black t-shirt, and then you have like these hoops even on the beach. I think it looks very good with your hair down, with like a ponytail, like anything, it just looks very chic. So in both our Antica and Luce collection we had a lot of hoops. The newest one we have are quite big because of course we're going into spring summer, and big earrings I think it always look really nice with spring summer outfits. So this is one which is quite sparkly, and it's a lovely detail because you have the sparkle at the front and then you have it inside. So when you wear it from the front you see both sparkly sides. And then we have still big, something like a bit more simple, like completely gold colored, and these ones were from Antica, the Positano hoops. They were like so popular, and we're gonna have a little restock of this, like not too much, because what makes this very special and limited is that these are like Indian vintage pearls, so we just have a limited stock of those. And then when you layer the hoops, I think it's really nice that you have at the front a big one and then you go like a little bit smaller. So again, quite sparkly. We have these or with pearls detail. These were from the Antica collection, but there is something new coming, and I have this really little gold one with pearls. They're so cute. Or this one with a chain. It's like a bit of a chunky hoop, but still very simple because there is no stones. And then these were from the Antica collection, very plain, so perfect for layering. And we have a new one coming in a very vintage style, which is this one. Trend number 2, which is basically together with pearls the core of our both collection Antica and Luce, it is chunky chains. So it's very trendy this year, we've been loving it, I love it so much. And I have to show you a lot of pieces, bracelet, necklaces, rings, and a pair of earrings as well. So let's start from bracelets. It is like the newest Luce collection. So this is my favorite bracelet. It's like a very chunky gold chain. There is a chunky chain with a black stone, and this is we had Olbia in Antica that was like completely sold out, so we created something very similar, especially for the people that missed out on Olbia. And then for all the bracelets that we had in Antica collection with like chunky chains, if you remember, they had a vintage Indian pearl. So because of that pearl, it was like very limited. We sourced different pearls and we recreated something similar. And this is the two new bracelets. So there is like a chunkier, again with the pearl, and then there is a different chain with a lot of pearls. Very pretty. And then we have rings. This was from Antica. So in this type of rings I normally wear only this one because it is very statement. And then we have chain rings. These were again from Antica, but we have a sort of new version with sparkles, and I really love this one. These are all from the new collection, all coming in different sizes, so you can wear it on different rings. And then we have this was from Antica as well, like it's a sort of like broken chain. So this one to me is a bit of a masculine style, but I really like it to break it with feminine pieces. And then we have a piece that I think is gonna be extremely popular because I put it on my stories and everyone was like, oh my god, and it is like this chunky anklet. And when you look at this on your shoes, it makes it a bit of like a Bottega Veneta shoe. I'll show you a picture so you can understand what I like. Love this one. And then we have a news in this collection. So because we found some pieces that are so beautiful, but they are much more expensive than our average price, so they're gonna be on pre-order. And we have this new necklace. It is a full vintage necklace. Of course, it is very statement, so you would wear this either at night or with a white t-shirt. It's like something very, very simple. And this is quite expensive. It's gonna be around the 200 euros price point, but again, this is gonna be pre-order, very limited pieces. And then very chunky, we had all the necklaces that you've probably seen already in the Antica collection, still staying in the collection because I think it's such good pieces for layering, so you can keep on wearing them. Trend number 3, it is something that for me it is a classic in my personal style. Is something that has been trending since last year already, and it is pearls. Pearls are still very present in the jewelry trends of the moment in 2020, but sparkly details has been added. So this trend, I call it sparkly and pearls. So we had already this necklace in the Antica collection. I still love it very, very much. I love it in the summer. And we are introducing a similar one, and it is smaller pearls, so more minimal, and with a real vintage clasp. So this is such a classic pieces. And then in the Antica we already had pearls bracelets, if you remember them. These were the one from Antica with the vintage Indian pearls, and they are coming back in the Luce collection with a slightly different, with a different chain, a bit chunkier, still very actual. And we are something that is a mix between the chunky chain and the pearl trend. It is, I think, my favorite necklace of the Luce collection, and it is this one. So it is a twisted chunky golden chain with a pearl, and it's like a flat pearl. This is so gorgeous for like from now until the whole of the summer. And then that I showed you before, so we have this ring I showed you already from the new Luce collection, and this one I love it so much. It is a signet ring, so again something a bit in a men's style but with a very feminine touch, of course, with all the sparkle. Again, you can decide in which finger you can wear it according to the size, but I like to wear it in this one. Trend number 4, it is pendants. So very popular at the moment, but again quite a classic. It is pendants of any kind. It can be a heart, it can be a pearl, it can be a glass stone. We have this pearl necklace from the Antica collection, and it's quite smart because you can take the pendant off and then you can use the heart pendant in a plain little chain, for example. And we have the Capri from the Antica collection as well. It was very, very popular, is restocking on the 15th. And we have 3 new additions from the new collection, and these are real vintage pendants, very, very limited. Like I'm not sure we're gonna be able to restock this because it's real vintage sourced. And so it is this one. And we have it in 2 colors, so it is black and white pearl as well. And this one as well. I love this, they're so delicate. And a bit of a bigger one, and this is like so vintage. I really love it. Last but not least trend, it is, I think, my forever favorite. It is vintage gold jewelry. Now, it is something that really is part of our work, and like in our collections, it is always to source real vintage pieces. It is a very sustainable way of styling jewelry, and is something we're very passionate about. And so if you remember from the Antica collection, we had bracelets and necklaces with these real like vintage Indian pearls. We had this one on a man chain, or even a thicker one. And we also have real vintage pieces in the Luce collection, and it is the statement necklace I showed you before. This is like a total vintage necklace. And then we have the pendants I just showed you, like these are all vintage. These are all both together, so you can see they're like exactly the same but just change the color. And in the little pearls necklace, as I mentioned before, the clasp, it is real vintage. And that I haven't shown you yet from the Luce collection, we also have 2 pair of earrings that they are real vintage and bit sparkly. So this is one, and it is like a sort of a half hoop, very elegant, but that again you can dress down with a white t-shirt. I think it looks quite cool, and this is the same concept but a bit thinner. So these are all the new entry in the vintage pieces in our collection. So this is it for today. These are the 5 jewelry trends of 2020 spring summer, very popular at the moment. I hope you really like the Luce collection as much as you like the Antica. I'm deeply in love with both of them, and I love the fact that they can be easily mixed and matched, so I'm gonna keep on wearing both of them, but this time mixed. Feel free to ask me any question. You can find the link to the collection in the description box. We ship worldwide, so I always get a lot of questions in like, oh, I live in the States, can I buy? Yes. We ship worldwide, so you can buy the collection from wherever you are. And the price point is gonna be very similar to the Antica collection. So the only, of course, most expensive piece is the pre-order piece, but all the other pieces are a reflection of the Antica collection. So that is the prices. And I'm gonna do, I think on Saturday before the launch, a Q&A on my Instagram, so you can ask me any questions about the collection, but just feel free to ask me here as well, and I always try to get back to all of you. And I'll see you next week with the next video. Bye!